You're watching Fishing in Germany, and in this video I'm going to show you how a method I use to make a simple hair rig that it's very similar to most of the videos you're going to find on this. I changed something in the steps as I was doing this, and I found it makes it a lot easier to do for me. So what I do to start out is first what we're going to need, let's go over that. You're going to need some hooks, some line, and preferably some bait stops, some boilie stoppers. I mean, if you don't have these, you can improvise, use a toothpick or a twig, whatever. A baiting needle. And again, like this is something if you don't have, I've seen people make these out of a hook. You'll just take some pliers and straighten out a hook, and you'll use that barb. You can put something on the end of the hook for like a handle, so it's possible to make one pretty easily. And then your bait. I'm using some pop-up boilies. And so this is the first step that I do is, I think, the biggest difference from most of the ways people, the more common way I see people doing this. I'm going to take my line at one end and just tie a simple slip knot. The reason I do this is otherwise we're going to put like usually an overhand knot, and we have a stuck sized. It's a little bit harder for my fingers to tie one of those, and I can't adjust it afterwards. And so it's kind of, it's hard to get exactly where I want my bait to sit from the hook for the distance. So okay, I just got a simple slip knot. Now I'm going to take the bait stopper, and instead of breaking it off from the pack already, I'm going to leave it on there, because that's another problem I always have with these. I drop them so easily. They're really hard to get through the loop. It'll drive me crazy. So I'm going to leave it on there and then go ahead and just wrap that loop around there and pull it tight. There I go. So wants to focus. Not really. But I think you get the idea. So yeah, it's on there. I can go ahead and cut my tag end off now. Keep it nice and clean, nothing funky for the fish to see, spook them away. And then I find it's easier, instead of breaking these off, I'll just twist them. It's very easy to break more than you want that way. Okay, so I got my line with the bait stopper attached. And it's on there. Slip knot holds it. It's not going anywhere. Next step is I'm already going to put the boilie on. So, I don't know, yesterday I had good luck with the pink ones. The water's really murky, so use another pink. Now these boilies, I'll see at the bottom, there's kind of this rounder part. I don't know if you can see it, if the camera wants to focus or not. Wow, it's being finicky about focusing. But it's kind of like, you'll see like this kind of round area there. That's where I usually try to put the needle through. I find I break them less this way. I think it's like a softer core in there or something. So thread it through. Now I'll take my line, opposite end of where I put the stopper. I'm just going to fold it in half somewhere. Wrap that around the barb of my bait hook and pull it through like normal. Get that on there. Alright, so now I got my boilie on. And next step is I'm going to tie the hook. Now all this stuff, the size of the test of your line, the line strength you want to use, the size of your hook, it's all up to you. Kind of depends on what conditions you're fishing in and what you're looking to catch. I'm going to try this. Let's see here. Here we go. Alright, so now I'm going to tie a knotless knot. These are really easy to do, but they're also very strong. I'm going to take that end of my line that doesn't have the boilie on it, run it through the back of the hook. And this is where I found the advantage also doing it this way. There's two advantages. One, I don't have to mess with that overhand knot and getting the boilie through it. Two, I can get it exactly where I want it on the hair. So, because normally with that loop, you're going to kind of guess it, and it never ends up exactly where I plan to have it. I like to have them pretty short, so I'm going to keep it really close to that hook. Right there is good for me. So now to tie the knotless knot, I start wrapping around the shank with the hang onto the boilie and the thread, the hook securely in my left hand between my thumb and finger. As many I try to get like 6 or 7 wraps. It's going to depend on the hook size, how close you can get to it. All right, then I hold that with that thumb and finger, take the end of the line and run it back through the back end of the hook. Not the best light in here. And this is a heavy line, so it's not much room to fit that through. I think I fucked. It's a small eye for this this size line. I'm not sure I can get it. There we go. Sorry, it took a little longer than I thought. Pull it tight. And at this point, usually you can get these line pullers, whatever. It's kind of waste of money. I just take some pliers, grip it, and give it a nice tug. Make sure it's on there good. Now, we're almost done. But as you can see, I've got it sitting just where I wanted it. And this time of year, especially if I'm using a method feeder, but even with a cage feeder, I try to keep my lead line a little closer than normal because there's so much current in the river, the water's so murky. I want it as close as possible to my bait, to my food from the feeder, method feeder, or the feeding cage. So I'm going to go ahead and, at the end of the line, tie a surgeon's loop knot. And if you're not sure how to do that, there's millions of videos that show how to tie a surgeon's loop knot. It's a really easy knot. And there we go. Of course, I'm going to cut the tag end off. And there we have it, our hair rig, this is like a very easy hair rig. It's nothing new, but I've never seen someone doing it the way I've figured out how to do it, using the slip knot and starting with the boilie on first. So hopefully that's something that you guys find helpful. That's it. I'm going to do another video right after this one that's going to show a really simple do-it-yourself method to hold your hair rigs. So we'll go into that one next. Thanks for watching.